Viewer discretion is expressed for the following program. If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution while viewing this program, because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children, and not for coworkers either.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's Monday morning. It's the beginning of a brand new week. It's going to be the best week ever. It's July 17th, 2023. I'm excited to be back. The weekends are so long. I love it when we get to meet here every morning, you and me and Deacon, and we get to talk about the news and media and basically solve the world's problems. And then we get to wait for the rest of the world to catch up to our brilliant answers.
That's exactly right. You summed that up pretty good.
Thank you. Good morning. How are you, Deacon? How's your weekend?
You know, what we're doing is no different than what men have been doing for a long time, because I don't know if you know this, but if you will go into any small town restaurant at about this time of the morning, there is always a table or a couple of tables sitting around. And if you've never worked in the restaurant industry, the restaurant people call this the liar's table, because that's where all the old men sit in the morning and lie to each other. They call it the liar's table.
Yeah.
Because that's where that's where, and that's what I joke. My dad right now as we speak, every morning while we're doing the show, he sits at a restaurant called JoJo's Cafe with all of his old men buddies, and they solve the world's problems. The only problem is nobody asks them the answers. They've got every problem in the world solved if you'll just freaking ask them.
Yeah, these guys have got it figured out.
They're the smartest men in the world, and they're sitting at every restaurant you go to this time of morning.
You bring that up. That's pretty funny to me, because I remember in the last years in my grandfather's life, he would do that some mornings. Like, and that's probably 10 years ago now, maybe longer. But remember, he was like in his 60s or 70s, like late 60s, early 70s, maybe. He would get up and go down in the mornings and go down to this cafe and
hang out with his buddies and shoot the crap with his old man buddies. Yeah, I would love that. Yes. Great.
And my grandfather was not political at all, like in any way, but he was just a blue collar working guy. Worked his whole life. And that's what's awesome. Liar's Table. Yeah, how do I get my ticket to this game? Are we too young?
We're too young for this. We've got Sinister Minister, and we've got Richter and Brian Perkins. We've got all of them. Your brother Jeremy can solve all the problems if we just get all of us together.
I had such a good time last Friday with
Sinister Minister. Yeah, it was great to log on. I didn't even know he was showing up. I logged on and I see JJ talking to this bald dude, and I'm like, "Who is that?" Oh, that's Sinister Minister.
Yeah.
I like talking with him. I like we need to have more. We need to have Richter and these other folks on the show if they can get on the show. I'd love to have that. All right.
Yeah. We have some. We can have a liar's table. We can have a liar's table weekend edition. Sometimes.
Yeah, liar's table edition. That's great. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay.
How was your weekend? What'd you do this weekend? Anything?
You got
this weekend cool ass. You need to tell us that thing you got behind you, man.
Oh. So okay, I'll tell.
Before the end of the show, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this weekend was our an anniversary for our family. In July 15th of 2019. We finished the court paperwork for our adoptions. Now, a lot of people, a lot of families that do adoptions, they call this a gotcha day, but we don't really like that term gotcha. So we have our own holiday for our family. That's our W Family Day. And so for what we did was this was the plan. You know how plans go. Plans are great. The plan was it's Saturday. Everybody in the family, there's 4 of us, everybody gets to pick something they want to do, and then we're all going to go do that one thing. So my wife wanted to go have brunch at this place called Lupe Tortilla, and it was great. Delicious breakfast, whatever. And my oldest daughter wanted to go swimming, so we went swimming. My youngest daughter wanted to go buy hair extensions. So we
That
went
is,
and
I
bought
mean,
hair
but
extensions.
that is so her though. I can
Yeah,
that's
oh
not
yeah.
surprising. It's
It,
like, oh, okay. Well,
within
if
like
she said,
within
I
like
want
10
to go
minutes,
ride a
and
llama,
she had them all.
it would have been, like, okay, that sounds like you.
Yeah, yeah.
Did
And
she
then
look
I was
funny
gonna
with all of
go
the?
well, and she got these things. Like originally, she wanted to go to the mall and get hair extensions at the mall, and my wife and I were like, we don't want to go to the mall, and but this is the deal." And instead, we went to like Ross first, and she found like these rainbow like hair extensions, and she bought like 4 packs of them. So she had like 10
That's
or whatever.
awesome.
She was happy as can be. And then later in the day, we went to the bookstore, and I was digging through the quarter bins or whatever, the dollar bins or whatever. And I have actually seen this at the shop there, and nobody picked it up. It was marked at $10, and it was there for a while. This is Marvel Spectacular number 8 from 1974, and it's very, very yellow, very bright. And you might say, "Hey, that layout kind of looks familiar."
Hey, that
This is a
layout kind of
Jack.
looks familiar.
Yeah. It's a Jack Kirby book from 1974. So it's pretty great.
Sweet.
I dig it. Yeah. So that's what we did for the weekend,
That's
and
nice.
then yesterday.
That's nice
uh,
that y'all have that little family day.
yeah,
Celebrate
that's
that.
it's
That's
my
great.
wife. My wife is really really good about that kind of stuff, like making a holiday. Like
That's good.
I don't even like celebrate my
Mm.
birthday. So she's the opposite. She's like celebrate, everybody gets,
If Ashley
she's
didn't
that
take
way.
care of that crap, my kids would hate me because she's like, "Here's your
Yeah.
presents," and I'm like, "You're welcome."
You're
Yeah, if my kids were to call my bluff and be like, "Dad, what's in this?" I'd be like, "Uh,
Hmm.
it's a surprise.
You know what? I don't want to ruin the
I wanna ruin a
surprise for you.
surprise for you."
All right.
Awesome. All
Yeah.
right. I got some songs for
Richter
you.
says it's always cool when Sinister Minister comes
It
on,
is.
and I agree.
It
It was pretty
is. It
fun.
is
If you haven't
cool.
watched that episode, don't do it right now, but do it at the end of the show.
He is a Kentucky boy. He found me because y'all kept calling me the Kentucky Killer on the podcast
Oh
when I
yeah,
first got on the podcast. Y'all were like, Deacon the Kentucky Killer.
yeah. Everybody on the show was just really. Everybody really thought that was funny. No, I was just like, I'm just gonna keep saying it. I think it's fun. I think it's everybody gets a nickname. All right.
All right, I got you a song. This song today for is for JJ. I gave him this song last week, and he, see what he's pointing at up there, our Discord little thing. Go to that.
Join our Discord. You can get his what is it called? It's a playlist. Yeah, he's got a playlist.
Got my playlist. I'm putting the song in the playlist right now. I gave this song was introduced to me by my 15-year-old son Alex, and he said, "You got to play this on your station." So I looked up this kid. This kid, Coulter Wall, was born the year I graduated high school, JJ, in
Oh,
1995. He was born
I
in
like Coulter.
1995. So he sounds like he stepped out of 19. It's like you opened up a time portal to 1963,
Yes.
1964. He has the craziest, "Whoa, Reverend." I mean, I can't even impersonate him. He's got such a
Is
great
he
voice.
putting on like a
Probably
you
a
know
little bit of a put on, which is not anything
yeah,
new. When every time I turn on the
right.
microphone, this is my normal speaking voice, but if I'm talking on the radio here, I usually put a
Yeah,
little
you
bit
go
more
performance
country. I put a little bit more country in my voice, a little bit,
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's probably doing that too. But this
All
song, "The
right.
Devil Wears a Suit and Tie," is one of those that's just like it's him, his guitar, and he's got a bass drum that he kicks with his foot. He steps on it with his foot. So he's like a busker. You can imagine him standing on the side of the freaking street,
Yeah.
busking with a bass drum and a guitar singing this song. But this song is so golden. Oh my God. I played it twice on Friday. on my classic country radio station.
I
So
like
yes,
it a lot.
it's great.
This should be in a movie as the soundtrack to some
The lead song to
scene,
some
you know?
scene to some movie. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then he does a couple
It's
of
good.
covers that I played last week. There's an old country singer. The dad from Gremlins, his name's Hoyt Axton. And Hoyt does a song called
Oh, yeah.
Evangelina. And he does a cover of Evangelina. Coulter does a cover of Marty Robbins' Big Iron. The story about the guy coming into town carrying the big iron on his hip, the big iron on his hip. And then he does his own song called Kate McCannon. All right. That one is going to be, I'm going to feature all these this week. All right. Coulter Wall is going to be featured this week.
This is Coulter
Yeah.
Wall
Yeah.
week. Yeah. All
because
right. I'm into this.
The song
I love
tomorrow is
this.
called Kate McCannon. And if you want to preview that, man, it is freaking fabulous.
I haven't bought music probably in like 20 years. I really might buy this CD. Although I was joking out the other day. I was joking with you. I was like, hey, I like this so much. I might buy this. And then I was like, as soon as I figure out how to buy music, and then I realized like I really don't know how to buy music.
Okay, so let me give
I
you
really
a
don't
tip.
know.
Let me tell you. Here's what you do. If you want to buy the song, oh God, I don't know anymore, because if you like go to everybody loves Spotify and shit like that, but Spotify pays them like fractions of a cent. You know, if he has 1 million listens on this song, he's going to get a check for like $1.50 or some crap. It's not much.
I wonder if he
All
has
right.
his own website.
Yes, that's what I was fixing to say. Go to his website, buy a shirt for $30, buy a hat, buy the CD from his website, the Coulter Wall or your favorite artist's website. Buy it from them. That way they get more of the money directly, and you're directly supporting the person that you like. You're not supporting some record executive that's taking 70 to 75% of the freaking money. More than that. Back in the day with CDs, it was nuts. So there you go. Coulter Wall, check him out. You might like him. He is I want to say country. He's country, all right? He's not pop country, what you hear on most of the country music radio stations today. That's pop country. I call traditional country. He's Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings. He's great. He's got some really cool shirts. Is that what you're on his website? I was going to go to his. I was
got 3 albums and several. It looks like it's all linked over to.
And I was going to buy a couple of those shirts for Alex.
Here, you know what? I'm going to show this screen real quick. Oh, great! We have connection issues. Super awesome. So from his website, you get to click on like Little Songs is one of his albums, and then it like clicks over to all of these different like
yeah, it's kind of blurry
services. So I don't know which one gives him the best cut, but I do know that YouTube Music, if you buy YouTube Music and then play that in the background and then minimize the app, it just like stops. So that one's not good, you know? So I don't know. Okay. Yeah, Coulter Wall. Oh yeah. By the end of this week, I'm going to figure out how to buy one of his albums, whatever album that song is on, because I like that song.
It's on Imaginary Appalachia.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay, guys, ladies and gentlemen and ladies, I just stole that from Brandon. Where's my button? Here we go. Today's episode title: Black woman joins the GOP and racist Democrats implode. This is pretty hilarious. I was up Saturday morning. You know, the thing about our show is like every night and every morning we're just flipping through news stories. But Saturday morning, like I do the same thing. I wake up and I flip through the news stories, and then I'm like, I don't have a show.
No show. I have the same
but
thing.
I flip through the news stories. And I scroll through Twitter. I'm like, anything interesting happening or whatever. And on Saturday morning, must have been, I saw Ian Miles Chong had posted this tweet. Let me pull this tweet up. Come on, JJ. Shouldn't have closed it before. Here we go. Pull this tweet up. A fraction of the hideous. Can you see? Here we go. A fraction of the hideous messages being sent to Rep. Maisha Maynor after she left the Democrats. So this story kind of happened last week, and I was like, it's Georgia. Not really, Like, neither of us are in Georgia. It's not national politics, really. So I kind of like let it slide. Well, I shouldn't have. So last week, Rep. Maisha Maynard from the Democratic Party, she's a state legislator for Georgia.
That woman
She
you just had a
she
picture of
switched
there?
parties. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was
She's
gonna
a
ask.
state legislator in
Okay,
Georgia.
okay.
And she said, last week she changed her party affiliation from Democrats to the GOP, and she gave several reasons, but they weren't policy reasons. It was moral reasons. She was like, for the Democratic Party, like uses and abuses the black population, and black people get literally like nothing out of it, but continue to vote in a like 90% block or so. And she's like, this has been a moral thing. We've been taken advantage of for years. I'm just gonna change parties. So she changed parties, and guess how the Democrats have responded? Not with loving and well wishes, and oh, you're on the other team now, but
I can imagine some of
no gentle ribbing.
I can imagine some of the words that they called her.
So here are selection, and I do not think this is cool, but these are screenshots of emails sent to Maisha Maynard. Okay, this is Alex Bouguet from Alex Bouguet 931 at knights.ucf. I can't quite read the end of that, but if I was going to guess, that might be a .edu, and some of his phone number. And he said, "quote." She has a form. What are your concerns? What are your priorities? You stupid chocolate Jabba the Hutt.
Whoa, yeah,
let's
not. You can now, like they can.
I know.
Don't read it. Just let people read
not
it.
Me.
You're going to get us banned, though. Don't read that shit.
I know. Just
take it off.
There are a bunch of I know.
Okay. Shoo! I can't even believe you put that
Awful,
on the screen.
Horrible stuff.
YouTube's already banned
I know.
us for
it's
that
bad
shit.
Stuff. So what Maisha Maynard is doing is she's actually, we might get a strike. I don't know. Reading the news. This is
it doesn't matter. We've read the
tweets.
News before, and they've taken us off the air. I told my buddy, I was like, he was asking about our show. I told him we've been taken off. He's like, you're doing something right, man.
So every piece of hate mail that she's getting, or many of them, she's screenshotting them.
Good.
And because she gets the emails, screenshots the emails, puts them on Twitter, and then says, "Dear Florida Democrat, sorry if you way about Black Americans and Haitians. Democrats have a long unfavorable relationship with Haitians, and your sentiment isn't surprising. I pray you find support in the University of Central Florida for your anger." Well,
she is
proving this.
They are proving her point for her. They're proving her point for her. Throw the picture back up again. You know what I was going to say? Because I didn't know who this woman was. I just thought that you had gotten a random woman picture there for, and the first thing I thought was, that's a pretty woman.
No, here.
Wow, they're calling her freaking names.
Yeah.
She's a pretty lady. She's a very pretty.
Yeah, I mean, it's horrible. Democrats are doing this. A ton of them. And I'm always like, we're constantly hearing about white racism, white supremacy. It's the greatest danger in the country. And Joe and the Democrats are always saying this. I guess they know why. It's them. It's them and their party. I don't know where. I've always been like, where are all these racists at? Where are all these people that are walking around calling people names and stuff? Oh, they're not. They don't hang out with me. So Maisha Maynard, and you know what? She has the same priorities. Education, healthcare, other urban politics, that kind of stuff. She just changed her party affiliation. But I'm gonna say, and I'm not in Georgia. Welcome to the Republican Party. I mean, like, I don't really care that I'm registered Republican, but come on over here, because that's awful. What you're having to deal with is just awful.
Yep, sucks. Sorry,
but not surprising.
That. It's not surprising.
Anyway, and she's handling it with grace and humor. She's just airing the laundry. Hilarious. All right, yeah, that was bad. I probably should have screened these. Honestly, they're all this bad.
They're all terrible.
They're all this bad.
It just shows you that
They're all this
it
bad.
just shows you that there's pieces of crap everywhere. All right. It didn't have to be Democrat or
Yeah.
Republican or whatever. There's pieces of crap everywhere.
Mm. Hey, dear viewer, if you're angry at us sometimes and you want to like hit me with some hate mail, there's a comment button down below. You can comment on the video, send us all the hate mail you want. I'm gonna take it personal. You're gonna hurt my feelings, right? Also, like and subscribe. Okay, Deke. I got some news that Hunter's gonna be interested in. The View. How often do you watch The View?
I try not to miss an episode.
Oh, Hunter's here. Hunter. The View is running cover for you. Here you go. The View cooks up a conspiracy theory that White House cocaine may have been planted to blame Hunter Biden. He's been framed.
I bet they're right.
Deke.
I bet they're right.
It's,
Well, I mean, okay,
this
first
sounds
of
like some
all, for
Joy
those of
Behar
you that
shit.
don't know, for those of you that don't know and may be unfamiliar with this, The View is a show where we have taken 4 of the top Mensa members in the United States, and we have set down these women together to discuss philosophical discussions about life and the meaning of life and stuff like that. I mean, so if you were to get like Socrates and Plato and Sigmund Freud and all these brilliant minds throughout history and set them down to discuss certain things on a TV show, this is basically the TV show. For those of you that don't know. So these women are some of the most brilliant minds that we have we've ever come across in the existence of humanity.
Thoughts that go through their minds would never occur to you.
Never occur to you or
plebs.
me because we are lesser humans than they are.
Yeah.
Our brains just don't work on a level that they work at.
Unlike the Liars Club that we were talking about earlier, which is just a bunch of old men sitting around a table lying, this is more like a bunch of your
crusty hags,
your stepmothers, a bunch of your old stepmothers.
That's
right.
Your pissed off stepmothers.
Yeah. On Friday's edition of the Blabfest, the topic turned to the illegal narcotic substance at the White House and speculation that the culprit may have been the younger Biden, who struggles with drugs is well documented by photographic video evidence, an entire laptop, there's tons of evidence. Let's see. Here's a quote. People in those positions cannot be doing drugs. Series could exploit it, and it's not a small deal. Said faux conservative punching bag, Alyssa Farah Griffin. Yeah, okay. So who did it? Joy Behar asked. Hostin chimed in. Dang, it's like cocaine gate. We don't know who did this. I'm thinking maybe a tourist, a stupid tourist, a guest, somebody like that. And you got to put your phone in there. You got to put your bags in there. Maybe it was planted, or do I sound paranoid?
No, I'm kind of on that train. I mean, I think that probably a tourist planted it. Someone posing as a tourist snuck away from the tour, like went underneath the rope, and like when the Secret Service guy, he turned his back.
Absolutely,
they snuck under the rope,
right?
And they went in there to plant it because they knew Hunter was in there at the time, and they were trying to set him up to make him look bad. Because Hunter's got a pretty, I mean, he's got a pretty polished reputation. You know, he's squeaky clean. So they had to do something to make him look bad. So planting cocaine while he's there would absolutely tarnish Hunter Biden's reputation. So that's probably they're probably right.
Framing him is
probably right.
Probably the most likely explanation.
Jesus
Absolutely
Christ, we sound like fucking retards, dude. That sounds like the most retarded shit. I can't even act like we're being serious with that. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Jesus. He's been framed.
He's been framed.
All right. Let's see.
These are the dumbest bitches ever. The fact that if you watch oh my God, there's nobody that watches our show that watches The View. There's not. Our viewers are a lot smarter than that. And the people that do watch The View that see our show, they only watch like the first 5 minutes and they turn it off because we're a bunch of bigot, racist white people. Okay. Next story.
I mean, hold on. Let me see if I can change my affiliation to Democrat right now.
Yeah, you're
Change
not.
my party affiliation to Democrat. Can't do it that fast. Okay. Was gonna talk about this Trump thing, but like honestly, I don't think it's a story. So there's this story from the Independent. Donald Trump. Oh, I guess we'll cover it. Donald Trump, the U.S. a third world hellhole run by perverts and thugs. This article from the Independent basically looks like Graham Massey and Alex Woodward have never watched a Trump campaign rally. Because
Or
Trump's
they
campaign rally,
are.
basically every single.
We got a crazy delay again today. It seems.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Yeah, it's a couple of seconds. I can tell.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
These guys are probably
super
crazy
fast.
liberals. All right, Massey and Woodward are probably crazy liberals.
Maybe.
They
I don't
hate
know. I
Trump
haven't
and
looked
they
into
want to
it.
do anything to make him look bad, like they all do. So they typed up, but that's not the point of this. The story, the presentation of the story is not why I posted the story. The facts and the information in the
Okay.
story is why I posted the story. What he said, I don't give a shit
Okay.
how they presented it, because the Independent, most of the stories that we get come from places that are crazy liberal sources. All right, because I get a lot of stories from crazy liberal sources because I go to those places to look. So I find this stuff, but it's just what he said. You can bring it back up. I'll shut up.
Yeah, you stay on Reddit too much, dude. Reddit is bad.
I do. I stay on Reddit and I get a lot of stories from Reddit, and Reddit is a liberal cesspool. So all of these stories that I get that are posted on Reddit mostly are catered to the left side. You know, Donald Trump brands you as a third world hellhole run by perverts and thugs.
So, was there something in particular in here? Because he talks about the election being rigged, or they talk about it and talking about it, and it can be rigged and it not be a giant conspiracy. But he talks about the election being rigged. He talks about China.
Yeah. I mean, what he's saying is not untrue, and these people are branding it like he's some kind of idiot, and he's the only one that's out there actually saying the truth. Well, I've been saying that we've been a third world country for 20 years, and we are run by perverts, and we've been run by thugs forever. We've run by perverts all the damn time, and we let it happen. We let it happen. So anybody that I don't give a shit. The way that they went against this movie Sound of Freedom. Me and Ashley was talking about it, and she made a good point. She was like, it's not a political movie. She was like, anybody that makes this movie political, it makes me wonder why you're trying to politicize sexualizing children. If you're trying to politicize this movie, why are you trying to politicize sexualizing children? Because this movie is not political at all. At all. It's about one man trying to rescue children, is what it's about. Children that are being kidnapped from their homes and raped repeatedly. So yeah, she was like, "Why are politicize?" And that's what they're doing.
So
we have a whole country run by perverts. We just showed you a freaking video last week of the leader of this country sniffing children, and it's not even on the media. Nobody even talks about this man. If anybody else was if Donald Trump was sniffing little girls like that, Jesus Christ, we'd have him hung up at the freaking town gate. But Joe Biden can do that crap, and we don't say a word about it. This country is run by perverts and thugs.
It's true. What was I gonna say? I was gonna pivot to the Sound of Freedom stuff, but I was also gonna talk about something else. Can't remember what it was. Sound of Freedom this weekend. Sound of Freedom beat Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So regular normal people are not picking Disney is putting down as a major tentpole blockbuster. and instead they're going to see this movie Sound of Freedom because the message, the word of mouth, the viral propagation of this film. It's the Sound of Freedom is making a big dent. Sound of Freedom, Deke, I don't know if you can hear me yet. Deke, Sound
Yeah.
of Freedom made more money than Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny this weekend. They didn't just beat them per screen; they beat them.
Good.
They beat them,
And
which I think is impressive.
I heard that our savior of the world and the next president of the United States, the greatest man ever born, Tom Cruise's movie didn't do so well.
Oh,
we do have a long
well, I
way.
mean, it looks like it had an $80 million opening. So let's see, was this the first weekend? Yeah, it's the first weekend, $80 million opening.
50 million in 3 days.
know.
They're trying their best. I was listening to it this morning. They're trying their best to make it sound like it was a good weekend for them, but it's not. If it was any other movie, they would have a different spin on the article. The lackluster performance from Mission Impossible, expected to bring in $150 million, only brought in $80 million. But instead, the article reads like, Mission Impossible brought in $80 million, a little bit less than what was anticipated, but it still brought in a lot of money.
Right.
It was a waste to fucking tell the story.
So this is the weekend chart from the numbers or whatever, and Mission Impossible is number one, and yeah, they made 80 million over the first weekend in release. The last couple days they made 50 million. But here's the thing that's interesting to me. If you look down the chart, number 2 is legitimately Sound of Freedom for the weekend. And unlike most movies that we've seen for the last year, the percent change over the prior week is 37% up. So most movies, this is what happens with most movies. They have a big opening weekend, and then after that, there's like a 30-40% drop to the next week, and then there's a 30-40% drop the following week. And they basically get a lot of their revenue the first weekend, and then it trails off, and it brings in less and less each weekend, although cumulatively it adds up. Okay? Sound of Freedom opened and then brought in more money the following weekend, and then brought in more money the following week. The Sound of Freedom revenue stream is growing. They're in more theaters than they were the previous weekend, and everything else is red.
This brings something very unique to our vision as well. So look at the top two. Let's see. Look at Sound of Freedom and Indiana Jones. Okay, how much money did Indiana Jones spent money before the movie was released on promoting it? And it brings in money the opening weekend, and then it has a decline, right? When they advertise before,
right,
it has the decline. Sound of Freedom did almost zero advertisement because they did not have a budget. And at the end of that movie, they ask you if you like the movie, which you do because it moves you, and you cry during the movie because if you don't cry and if you don't feel moved after watching that movie, you really have some problems with your emotions and your empathy. You really do. I'm not being negative. I'm saying, if that movie doesn't move you, you as a human being probably have something wrong with your empathy, and you might need to get that checked out, because normal humans have empathy and that movie will hit you. Okay. Some people don't have empathy. So what I'm getting at is the Sound of Freedom it's growing instead of declining like every other one. So do you think this will cause movie companies in the future to slow down on their advertising that they had been doing for the past? I mean, they've had big advertising budgets like that since the freaking 80s and 90s is when that shit started. So do you think that will finally, after 40 or 50 years, decline because they're seeing we don't have to spend as much if we can find creative ways to do it? Some of the more I've really liked some of the more creative ways that movies have done. Some of them have been terrible, but
oh my goodness! Look at my lily corn. Lily, show him your hair. See, this is one of her hair extensions. She
That
got a
is super awesome. I want one of those.
Lily. Yeah.
Ask her if I could wear that in my hair.
Hey, Deke wants to know if he can borrow that from you. Can Deke borrow that?
Huh?
Sorry,
I got a
I
little
had
bit of
audio going. Can Deke borrow that? Oh, you don't want to listen to Deke? That's fine.
Oh.
I don't want to have that, but I just want to have it, Dad.
You want to have my headphones? Okay. So, okay, now the dog is over here.
And your unicorn horn looks so awesome and so pretty.
I bought it with my money. I forgot again, but then I found it and I was looking for this. So my mom found me some more horn hair, and I bought it with my own money. And then Jill bought I believe nothing. I think nothing she bought.
She bought nothing.
I don't know what she bought, but I don't know that. So I feel like
So you bought that yourself. You picked it out and you bought it with your money.
And Jill bought candy.
No, she didn't buy candy.
Oh, yummy.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
She bought a dinosaur egg. Remember? She bought a dinosaur egg
And a puppy cat.
and a puppy cat. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
That's
And
cool. Well, I
Yeah.
love the unicorn horn and ears.
And then we found sippy cups.
Okay. Yeah. And sippy
Cool.
cups. What are you talking about?
Sippy cups.
What are you talking about, sippy cups?
Those sippy cups.
We didn't buy any sippy cups.
I said we saw sippy cups.
Oh, we saw some. Well, we saw a lot of things, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to have it.
Listen, you got 20 minutes till you're supposed to be up, and if mom turns around, she's going to see you. So you should probably go back to your room. Yeah, she's the best. She's the best part of the show. But yeah. So anyway, back to the Sound of Freedom. I just wanted to show on this chart. You see that thick zone there, that thick line on the lower. That's the projections based on the opening weekend, and the line above that is the actual in revenues based on performance, which means that the movie is overperforming compared to projections from just like any other movie would get. So Sound of Freedom is dominating. And let me just say this. If you go out and watch this movie, you're contributing to the story of Americans are not sitting by and just gobbling up Disney bullshit, but will go and put their money and their time into stories that matter. And Sound of Freedom matters.
So let me I don't know if I can find the tweet. All right. I told Ashley to look this up. All right. And we read this yesterday and she said, send me that. I want to look that up. And I need to ask, but I'm going to try to remember it off the top of my head. But it was, hang on. I think I've got the tweet right here. If I could just scroll back to remember where it was, because we text crap to each other all the time. It was, here it is right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. It can't retrieve the tweet. Oh, there it is.
Oh.
When the team behind the movie Sound of Freedom selected Jim Caviezel to portray the character of Tim Ballard, a former U.S. special agent for the Department of Homeland Security, who left his job to save children from sex traffickers, they encountered a single concern: Jim Caviezel's wife. She was worried about the security situation in Colombia where the filming would take place. Tim Ballard offered 30 former Navy SEALs to ensure his safety. With this proposal, the problem was resolved. While strolling through the streets of Cartagena, the ex-SEALs disguised themselves as tourists. And when smugglers approached them, offering children, Ballard's team swiftly initiated the rescue operation. Few weeks later, Colombian newspapers woke up to headlines announcing the successful rescue of 200 children as part of the underground railroad operation. According to this man Eduardo, who was saying this, if Jim's wife have agreed at the beginning, the officers would have not embarked on the mission to rescue those 200 children. All because
This is
this
while
movie,
they were filming.
filming of this movie, they rescued 200 more children.
Dang, dude.
Because Jim
This is
Caviezel's wife
amazing.
was worried about his safety. So that's why I was like, you know, I don't hold things as, I'm not one of those like, oh, that's awesome, retweet. I was like, can we check that to see if that's real? Because that's like, why wouldn't they have been promoting this already? You know, so she was going to check.
I mean, I can
and
like,
who's better at that crap? You're probably better at that crap.
I think
than me.
Jim and that film, the filmmakers probably, but Jim's wanted to keep the attention on the story subject, which was Tim
You're
Project
probably
and Saving
right.
the Kids, and probably
Yeah.
didn't want to put it back on himself. But that's just amazing, dude. Jim
Yeah,
Caviezel.
you're probably right. I bet you're right.
Man, I'm gonna. Oh, that's a fan account. Okay, I'm not gonna follow a fan account. All right. Let's see, Deke.
I'll post this in our Discord server. I'll post this over there right now in our Discord server so folks. That's a tease to go to our Discord server. I'll put it in
please
the.
do. That's amazing.
In the general.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I got a Twitter thread I saw this morning, and I know you love Twitter, Deke. So
for those of you on Twitter, I'm on Twitter for my D&D stuff. So good on Twitter to check out my D&D stuff. It's Dad Deacon, DEACON.
Are you posting stuff frequently on that?
I try to give you something brand new every 2 to 3 days. So don't go and buy all this crap. If you're a D&D DM, don't go. I'm giving it away completely for free. This last thing was a huge thing of fantasy drugs that will mess up your character. Festivals and carnivals. I'm working on fantasy festivals and carnivals for your D&D games. So get over there and do that.
Okay.
So go ahead. Go to Twitter.
All right. So, yeah. So over on Twitter this morning, I saw this. A surprising source, PFAS exposure and pollution is toilet paper. A recent study reveals. Toilet paper has been shown to contain significant doses of PFAS chemicals linked to impaired testicular function in men. So, men, it might be that by wiping your butt after you take a dump, you might be giving yourself testicular cancer. A study from March of this year revealed that significant quantities of PFAS are found in virtually every brand of toilet paper on the market. The average American will use 26 kilograms of toilet paper a year, which is 19 billion pounds of toilet paper are flushed down the toilet by Americans every year. Fluoroalkyl substances are vicious, hormone-disrupting chemicals that are ubiquitous today because of their use in plastics, fire retardants, nonstick coatings, ammunition, and contact lenses, among other things. So, what do you do about that, Deke? What do you do about the fact that you can't not wipe your butt?
You get a bidet.
A bidet? Is this post sponsored by a bidet company? No,
Big Bidet. This post is sponsored by Big Bidet. Yeah, Big Bidet is trying to.
Oh my gosh,
that's a company those are companies that you don't think about sometimes. But Big Bidet, they hold a lot
trying
of power
to control the market.
They are.
Jeez.
All right, I got a story for you.
Sure.
We are on such a delay this morning; it's freaking me out.
I know. I'm sorry.
Here you go. Oh, hang on. Let me.
It's gotta be me.
Oh, it's not gonna let me do it because you're stupid and gay. Hang on. Let me find this story again on somewhere else, so that it doesn't have an ad blocker. Here we go. New York Post. Hang on. I got you.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
You like this story, JJ? You've probably already seen this. Disney's live-action Snow White is under. No, we're not supporting you. Fuck off. Disney's live-action Snow White is under fire for dwarves with magical creatures of all sizes. Snow White and the magical creatures of all sizes.
Oh my gosh.
That's
The magical
the politically
creatures of all
correct.
sizes.
I'm guessing there's 8 of them there, but you got one little person portraying a dwarf. These are full-grown fucking morons. Did I lose you? Oh, hello?
No, yeah, for a second there, I think it dropped out.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see. All right, so magical creatures of all sizes.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Disney's
And why
forthcoming
is
live
I
action.
mean, can I ask why it?
This delay is killing me
Go
this
on.
morning, man.
I know.
Go ahead. You go ahead. I'm going to hush.
I just wanted to know if like why Disney is committed to having Snow White be played by a white woman. Like, you know, shouldn't we diversify that too?
Oh,
Snow White, why can't it be a guy?
I don't know.
All right, go do the story. Do the story. I know
It's
the lag is bad.
It's pointless. It's just fucking Disney being Disney, and who's going to watch this shit but a
Right.
handful of fucking people, and people are going to bitch, and it's going to get
Nobody.
Disney all kinds of freaking press that they desperately need because they're having to close down shit, and they're doing all kinds of stuff. So the girl looks like Snow White, so good for her, you know. But
Right.
if this turns out to be true, that's the only thing that's the only you just can't see this damn story that I pull up because I use an ad blocker, and I'm not turning off the fucking ad blocker. I'm just not doing it. I've got one more here for you too, JJ. The writer's strike with the actors strike and everything that's going on all over the place.
Yeah.
It has shut down some movies, and Deadpool 3 that was already like pretty much filmed, I thought, or they're filming it, but they've shut it completely down. No, there was another movie that was pretty much already filmed and ready to go that they had to completely stop, and I don't remember what it was now. But they've completely stopped Deadpool 3 and whatnot. Whatever.
We just saw them filming
that are striking
last week. We saw them filming.
Yeah, but that strike shit only happened not too long ago with the actors.
Yeah,
I don't.
And so one of the things about the strike is this. Did you know that the studios were wanting from the actors, they wanted to put it in the contract that the studios could 3D scan the actors so they could use them? digitally?
Yeah, this is what I read, that they were wanting to bring them in for 1 day's pay them for 1 day, scan them, and then have the rights to use their body for the rest of eternity and to use it for whatever.
Fuck that.
That's some bullshit. Yeah, that's bullshit.
Right?
Yeah.
Man.
But you know there's going to be some hard up actor that owes $50,000 to the freaking mob that's going to be like, for $50,000, I'll let you do that. And there's going to be some people that do that. There will be. I guarantee you. Or they will invent a new person. We'll have a fake actor on TV that does all the action stuff, and it's not a real person. It is a fake persona that is played by a dozen different people in a green suit, is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know? It's how we can, let's get somebody to play Luke Skywalker now. Some young kid that looks like him to play Luke Skywalker now, and we can just, fix the stuff on the screen to make it look, with the computer to make it look like him. Imagine how that's going to look in 20
James
years.
Gunn's brother's name? James Gunn's brother, they had him they had him play Rocket the Raccoon. Yeah, Sean Gunn.
Mm-hmm.
And then later he was like the replacement Yondu.
Did he play Kraglin?
Kraglin. Yeah. Kraglin. He played Rocket. Yeah, they'll just have him come in and be like, "Hey, just come in and put on the skinny suit," and then and he'll be like, "Okay." He'll play all the characters. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like, I could not care less about the writers. Like, the only thing it's going to do is shut down Hollywood.
Yeah. Kraglin's got a good part in Guardians 3.
He has a good part in Marvel. In
Guardians 3, yeah. He's got a really good part. Yeah. So there you go. Deadpool 3 and 7 Foot Tall Wolverine is shut down indefinitely. So Hugh Jackman.
That's good.
Oh, It makes me sweat. Oh, I get the vapors when I look at Hugh. Oh, because we sure can't get a 5'3" fucking guy to play Wolverine. Let's get Hugh Jackman again. Why not?
Can you name one person in Hollywood that's 5'3"? That's not
I
a
could
female?
probably find you a 5'3" actor if I was a fucking casting director. Yeah, I probably could. I could probably find you a 5'3" actor with dark hair with fucking big pork chop sideburns too. I bet you I could find a hairy 5'3" dark haired actor in Hollywood if I was a casting director. Yes, I do believe I
Okay.
could. I'm not a casting director though.
Right. Yeah. Well,
I'm just-
I'm okay. So some of it though, some of it is human psychology, right? Like real human psychology. In the presence of other real people that are taller have a sense of authority that they didn't
Yes.
really earn. It's just
Yes.
because they're taller, right?
Yes,
So
my
actors,
best friend for
taller.
30 years, or more. I've been out of high school for 28 years. We were friends all through high school. All right, he's my best friend. Still, we had just had coffee the other day. We played D&D together. All right, still to this
Right.
day, he's 6'8" and weighs like 300 and something pounds. My other buddy that I hung out with all the time was 6'7". His brother was 6'3". I hang out with giants, and they all. Yes, you're right. People that are taller have this sense of authority because they're bigger. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's just a thing. And people that are shorter have little man syndrome. Have that I need to prove myself to show out, and that's the whole purpose behind Wolverine's persona. You know? That's right, Deacon. You're exactly
Yeah.
right. I could have
Yeah.
said it better myself.
That's
know.
true. You're right. But people won't want to see. People won't buy tickets
Handsome
for that.
people.
That's why it's never
Yeah.
like that. People won't buy tickets.
People
Sorry.
will buy tickets for that. I think we've proved that. All right.
Speaking
Wheel of Time. Cough. A cough.
nobody's buying tickets for that shit.
If they did it right, they would, wouldn't they? If they put a
Wheel of
5'3" fucking
Time
Wolverine,
adaptation
they
makes me
would,
sad.
wouldn't they? Go ahead. I'm just being a prick.
I wanted to pull up this other thing I saw this, but I can't find it right now. So last week, and then we're going to be done. Last week, Kamala Harris explained AI, I think, and it was in the news. And then somebody had AI write an explanation of the vice president in the style of Kamala Harris, and it is super, super funny.
Okay.
Kamala Harris is a dimwit moron. I don't know, and the AI, it basically was just like, so Kamala Harris legitimately sat down at a table and was doing a press conference. She was like, so about AI, first thing is it's like 2 letters. It's like artificial intelligence. And she explained it like you're in the first grade and she told you exactly nothing. So the AI did the exact same thing, explaining the vice president. I'm going to find that. I'm going to bring that tomorrow. That was it. It's worth it.
Okay.
Okay. I guess that's all. That's all. I can find it. I can find it real fast. We're out of time. No, we're not out of time. We got 5 more minutes. What do we do? What do we do for 5 minutes? You got AI
I just
guns.
had a story. I thought you had another story. I had a story I just deleted. Oh yeah, you didn't get to the AI guns. I posted that just for you, JJ. Did you not read what the Israeli Defense Force is doing with the guns?
I thought you were going to pull it up twice
AI
already.
into this.
They need to do this. This is awesome.
Oh, we put.
Oh, you got it too. You do it because
go
I think my
ahead.
connection's shaky. My connection's shaky. You do it. You do it. You do it. My connection is shaky.
We try to do the same thing. All right. The Israeli Defense Force has employed more AI weapon systems in reinvention of warfare. I just thought that you would like to see this. You know, they've already got some of this stuff, but they've got AI in these defense systems, these rocket defense systems and stuff over there. And I'm guessing the AI is going to help the Israeli defense with, picking out stuff in the sky. You know, have you seen those? Have you seen there? What is it called? The Iron Curtain or whatnot? When some of those,
Oh yeah,
when it
yeah.
goes,
That's a
when
missile
they start
defense system.
firing, when they start firing missiles over there, and that thing comes up, and it's crazy.
If you watch the video at the top of the story, there's AI in the computer on top of a rifle. Skip like 10 seconds in. No, not this one. Where's it at? They have AI. Yeah, right there. That's not a sighting system it is a sighting system on the top of the rifle. That sighting system has AI built in, and it has
That's
dynamic
awesome.
tracking that accounts for the user instability, user maybe not holding the rifle super well, and it accounts for dynamic moving target. So it's tracking the target across the screen or across the view sites, and it's accounting for the user, and it will lock in not the bullet, but it'll lock in the sighting system so that you can aim right over here just in front, and boop, and your bullet will go where it needs to go. So we've got AI in the guns. Now we need to take the guns and put them in robots, and we'll have other AI. So we'll have two different AI fighting against each other to be super, super lethal. And then we can maybe convince people that AI is not good.
I use AI all the time. So I set up on my new phone last night. I was setting up. We went out to this little drive-in to eat, just me and Ashley, and we're sitting there, and I'm setting up my Google Assistant.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I'm not going to say it right now because it'll turn my Google Assistant on. But I was like, blah blah
Right.
blah. Can you set me up a blah 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 appointment for October the 7th from blah blah blah? And it was like, yes, blah blah blah, and it stopped. And then I said, can you title that blah 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 blah? And then it looked it up, and she was like, that's not your AI. It doesn't remember conversations. You use that AI way too much. So I was like, yeah, I do. I use AI way too much. I use it for almost everything now. I read a story where they were using AI to generate this stuff, and then they used that. They kept recycling it into the AI, and it was flipping the AI out. Craziness. You can't rely right now on AI for everything factual. If you ask it questions like a Google search or whatnot, you can't rely. And if you say, hey, what is, name me the 5 best blah 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 blah, you can't 100% rely on that right now because it might give you fake stuff. And it has been known to give fake things.
AI has no way to fact check. It only input ultimately.
Connection's getting bad. I don't know if he can hear me or not at all. He's froze up
Are
completely.
you serious? I can't even toggle on.
Oh no.
Big
Yeah, he's coming and
right
going.
now. I guess we'll be doing it tomorrow. Is the show frozen?
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow.
There's no way that you're.
Yeah, the connection's bad. Let's not do that.
5 minutes.
Connection's bad. Stop it. Yeah, he can't hear me. Can you hear me? Sibilance. I don't know if you can hear him. Me. He's muted to me. I don't know what I'm doing. All right. Bye, everybody. If you're still watching me, bye. He's not. I don't know if he can hear me. Can you hear me? Wave at the camera if you can hear me. I can't hear you anymore. Hello? Bye. I don't know what the hell's going on. Stop the show. if you're still running and you can hear me. Oh, you can't stop the show. I don't know how to stop the show.